And good Saturday morning, South Louisiana. We're going to start off looking at future radar on the NAM 3 kilometer model, and we're going to talk about a few things that potentially could lead to an upgrade in the severe risk for tomorrow on Sunday. Uh, I'm going to start this time loop for the future radar at 11 a.m. this morning, and it'll go through midnight tomorrow night. And as we put this into motion here, you'll see the timestamp again over here, so get your bearings. And I'll let the loop run through a couple of times so you can get a sense for the time, and I'll stop it here and there. But just want to give you a shot there, that second line there. You see model, and then the date, and then timestamp. So without further ado, let's put this into motion here and take a look. And could be some light showers out and about today, especially across southwest Louisiana. Uh, Most of the convection, heavier convection, will remain confined into Texas and out over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. But now, as we get past midnight into 1 a.m. tonight or tomorrow morning, start to see this heavier activity start to intrude in the southwest part of the state and northern Acadiana there, approaching into central Louisiana. Now, one factor that we're going to need to watch is you see this stalled frontal boundary here, this red and blue line right here. Okay, as that advances north, how far north this tracks and brings in low to mid 60s surface dew points, that could be a factor in the Storm Prediction Center upgrading relatively a narrow corridor of upgrade to a slight risk for severe weather for tomorrow. Um, so the northward progress of the stalled boundary is going to play a big factor in the overall severe threat as we move forward. And we'll put this into motion here again, and now we start to get into uh, close to 3 a.m. Tomorrow morning. And you can see uh, we're certainly under the gun here in southwest Louisiana. A lot of heavy thunderstorm activity, and some of this is in the Baton Rouge area, Baker, uh, spotty stuff over here across the North Shore parishes. But the heaviest stuff basically around Morganza southwestward, parts of Acadiana possibly getting in on it too. Um, but as we put this into motion again and we let it run through, now we're getting to 4 a.m. an hour later. You can see, things are really ramping up. So as tonight, well, overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, pre-dawn hours, things are really going to start popping out ahead of the front. And uh, we'll put this into motion again, and you can see a little bit of a spin right here, and that's closed surface low. Now, as we all know, surface lows have some spin to them, and especially coming out of the Gulf, uh, that raises question of potential tornado threat. So, in addition to a localized damaging wind threat, now we add in the possibility of a tornado threat. And as we saw yesterday, even though the tornado threat was very low, we did still have a warning pop off here in southwest Louisiana just to my west and give me pause because the thing uh, was generally headed in my direction, but uh, the cell actually went just to the north of me by about 5 miles. I had a resident chaser, John Raines, had chased this particular cell. It raced to catch it up in Fenton, Louisiana, and then tracked east from there along Highway 102 and shot out just uh, north of me on 26 and went north up into Hathaway towards Elton. And he waited for it there. And I posted that picture he got of the lowering there, of that mezzo as it crossed Highway 26 between or just north of Hathaway. So still don't have any confirmed reports of a touchdown, although I did see what appeared to be a debris signature on the correlation coefficient on dual pole. But again, if it touched down in a field, you're probably not even going to get reported. So uh, again, that could have been, but it's not confirmed that there was an actual tornado touchdown, at least from a National Weather Service standpoint. So uh, moving forward, we'll continue to advance this, and as you see the timestamp here, just close to 6 a.m. and you see the spin over here as it ejects, and now you start to see as we get mid-morning here these isolated cells here, discrete cells, or small thunderstorm clusters. Those are the ones that actually kind of concern me, and those could be the ones that pop off a tornado or two, and so that'll have to be watched. As we move forward, and this isn't exactly what radar is going to look like tomorrow, but again, it's a fairly close approximation. So, there is the potential for uh, marginally severe thunderstorms. So we move forward 10, 11, then we get close to the noon hour, and uh, south of Lake Pontchartrain is basically just some moderate rains, but the heavier stuff is just north of Baton Rouge in the St. Helena Parish. Uh, Actually, that's East Feliciana. So, and over here into East West Feliciana and parts of Point Capee Parish. So, uh, up to the noon hour, we still got some stuff popping off, and we'll see what happens with the surface dew points as we move forward. I suspect somewhere, uh, and I'll show you the marginal risk area for tomorrow, but I suspect somewhere in that dark green area we're going to see a yellow slight risk area hatched by the Storm Prediction Center at the midnight update tonight. But uh, behind this, after lunchtime, you see the clearing all the way to Lafayette, Lake Charles. We're basically in the clear here in southwest Louisiana, and we'll advance this forward a little bit more here. And as we get into the later afternoon hours, as the front begins to punch through Baton Rouge and starts to move through Amite, Hammond along the I-55 corridor there, you start to see a couple of big boomers pop off from around the New Orleans metro area and southward, uh, down here to Galliano, Dulac. That'll be just on the leading edge of the front there, and you see a couple of little flare-ups there. Uh, Again, those little isolated, discrete cells will have to be watched as we move forward, and then you get one little big flare up there. as this line is beginning to exit the state, Grand Isle, Port Sulphur, going towards Venice and Pilot Town. Uh, Potential may be there. Certainly, this would prompt special marine warnings along the coastal waters there. Uh, but then you see the pulsing as it kind of flares up and then subsides a bit and then flares back up. But by tomorrow evening, uh, it's out of here, done. So, uh, and tomorrow night you can see how far it's advanced, and we'll open this up, and you can see the big comma shape here. There's a really big system here, and I don't have uh, precip typing on, so it's not going to show you snow or sleet or anything like that. Frozen precip. It's not going to be that cold yet. So we'll clear that. We'll clear the model data. You can see uh, the dark green marginal risk area uh, does include Jennings, Lake Arthur, Iota, Eunice. Uh, Anybody in and close to the edge here of this risk area, I still wouldn't let your guard down. Uh, Probably over to Welch. Uh, we'll zoom in here. Elton, Hathaway, Bazille, Mamou, Ville Platte, Pine Prairie, uh, even as far west as Iowa and Fenton, Kinder, Oberlin, Oakdale, Turkey Creek. I still wouldn't let your guard down as of yet. Um, Again, an upgrade is dependent on uh, how far inland uh, mid to upper 60 dew points move inland. So uh, the bulk shear, I think 45 to 60 knots, I believe, is on tap here. Um, Let me check that real quick. Yeah. Uh, Bulk shear is running about 45 to 60 knots, so that'll easily support organized convection. And supercells are possible along and ahead of the cold front, uh, so that would set the stage for isolated, strong to damaging winds. Uh, that would be the primary concern given the strength of the low and mid-level flow. Uh, Low-level shear does appear strong enough to support updraft rotation. So uh, that would support a couple of tornadoes possible across the warm sector with any of these semi-discrete storms. Um, Again, that warm sector, how far it advances inland, is going to set the stage for whoever's along that boundary and south of it uh, possibly get popped. Um, Even though the low level flow will be quite strong, instability is forecast to remain rather weak, generally less than 500 joules per kilogram of mixed layer Cape. So, you know, even with that, it's still the ingredients are there for damaging winds and a tornado, low end risk for damaging winds and tornadoes. But surface dew points, again, I'll reiterate that how far those low to mid 60s surface dew points advance inland is going to determine the overall risk of the issuance of or upgrade of the risk from a marginal to a slight risk for somewhere inside of that marginal risk area. So don't be surprised if the midnight update from the SBC tonight, uh, or even a later update early this evening, uh, they hatch a risk for a slight risk. Uh, so again, with that, be mindful. Uh, we're going to close out that, and we're going to take a look now at local radar and well, regional radar, and you can see uh, a lot of shower activity and thunderstorm activity out there to the west and to the south, and that's all going to That's all moving this way. You'll start to see more of this light stuff move inland. We'll see again how far this stalled boundary pushes north. Um, what I'll do right now is I'll actually take that off. Let's go look at our dew points. Hold on here. There we go. So, 2 meter dew point fill. See if that comes up. So, you see we've already got some low 60 dew points already inland. Dew point 59 here in Lake Charles, that's borderline, and then in the Texas and southeast Texas here, you see uh, mid 60 dew points, and then you see the higher 70 dew points out there in the Gulf. I don't think those get in here. Certainly, we'll start to see some of these values increasing, and this could set the stage again. And I suspect, and I'll paint in a line here. Uh, Probably in this area here. That would be my guess. Stay on guard for the potential for an upgrade in the risk. Certainly a tornado risk and a damaging wind risk would be elevated in that area. So again, be mindful tomorrow. Those of you that may be going to church, uh, despite restrictions and all that, just be mindful. This stuff is going to be roaring through here at daybreak. You might want to wait and go to an evening service and give this stuff a chance to get out of here, because by tomorrow evening this stuff's done and gone. So if you can hold off going anywhere tomorrow morning, just stay home and monitor the weather. uh, I'll be here monitoring things, and uh, we'll see what happens. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll take this out and close out the dew points, and we'll go back to radar. So with that, we've given you a little bit of a rundown without getting too awfully technical, but that's going to be the gist of it. And uh, I guess that'll do it for now. I'll finish drinking my coffee here and start checking the news and seeing what kind of lies they're trying to sell us today. And that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again later. And don't forget, if you like what I do here, support the work, support the effort, um, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Uh, Smash that thumbs up like button, subscribe, share, and make a donation. You could certainly use it. Uh, so with that, I'll go ahead and close it. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again later.